Sorry for the sound there. All right, so it's Hustle Hangout. We're gonna do this. So I just did some sourcing for eBay, and I'm about to do some Doordash stuff in a little bit here. That part's starting to sound like Groundhog Day because it seems like every day that I've been going live, just going live, before Doordash. But that's what I'm doing. So yeah, let me set this up and we'll get into it. We'll do the hustle stuff. So we're gonna talk about eBay, Doordash, YouTube, all that stuff, and probably won't be long today because I got to get out here and work some. So yeah, let me set this up so that I can see the chat. Okay. Hope everybody's doing well today. And if you're, I got gas at $2.75 today, $2.75. If you're watching the replay, let me know what you got gas for today, how much it is at your location where you're at. All right, cool. So I'm all set up. All set up. And we'll let some people come in. And we'll talk about some hustle stuff. Not unethical hustling, ethical hustling for sure. But as soon as we get some people in here, we'll look. I got a bag right here in the passenger seat. It's a big bag. I can't even show it to you because you're so it's big and you're small, the screen. So give you an idea of that in a minute. And then there's some stuff we're gonna take a look at. Some stuff I bought to sell. Give you an idea of what we're doing with that and what I do when I talk about doing eBay. I do a lot of thrift shopping and things like that, so that's part of it. And I started doing thrift shops, but I've gotten into going to bin stores and things like that. So that's what I did today. I kind of do this on a weekly basis or whatever. There's certain days that I go because there's certain dollars. Today is dollar day at the place that I went. So all this stuff in the bag here, and we're gonna look at a couple of the items, not all of them. Some of it, secret sauce, guys. I can't give you all the items, but we're gonna look at some of the items that I have in the bag, and things that I got for $1. Just give you an idea how it's done, and you can have an idea of what it would be like if you were gonna do it. And everybody's gonna find different items. Everybody's gonna find different stuff because different categories. So I'm pretty proficient in certain categories, and there's certain items that I know to look for, and there's also things that at the stores that I go to that show up regularly, right? So I'm very familiar with those things, and I just know to look for them. I don't have to look them up or anything, right? So we got at least 1 or 2 people here. So hello, hey, how you doing? XOXO, how you doing? So let me know if the sound's better today. I'm not using that same phone. And let me know if the signal's better, because problem is with this phone, the signal's not so good. The phone that has the good signal has the bad microphone. So got a little bit of work to do there. But I tried to switch it up today because the audio on that last live was not good at all. Right? So, but anyway, we'll get into it. So yeah, so I'm about to be door dashing. So today, what a day like today would look like, because I've got to go to the bin store, which I just did. You wake up, go for a walk, do all that stuff. eBay items, they've got to go out. So the eBay items get packed up. Everything that's sold the day before, in this case the weekend before, because it's Monday, everything that's sold has to be packed up, needs to be shipped out. And then at that point what we do is I got to take that to the post office. So I go take that to the post office. I do this daily because it's a good idea to keep up with it. I want the items shipped out fast, right? And I usually don't have an overwhelming amount of items. Now occasionally I'll get caught and I don't go daily, but yeah, try to do that daily. So every day going in the post office, first name basis with everybody there, and dropping my packages there. And then from that I go to wherever I go next. So it might be door dashing if I'm not sourcing that day, or if it's sourcing, there's a number of thrift stores that I want to go to, and there's also a number of bin stores that I would like to go to on a regular basis. Kind of a schedule for that. So this is the dollar day at the bin store. And we'll look at the stuff in the bag, but I do want to wait for a couple more people to get in here and see if we can get some people in the live here. So it may be better audio, but I still hear some interference. Not too bad. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you for letting me know that. Yeah, you know, the phones aren't perfect, right? And there's a little bit of wind here and stuff like that. So but hope everybody's doing good. So I got gas at 275. Let me know where you're at, how much gas was today, or last time you got gas. And so another thing I do as a part of this whole system is that I use Upside, which I'm not plugging Upside, but I use it. And sometimes I get a few pennies off of whatever the gas is at that time. So I'll do that wherever I can. It's not every single gas station, but you know, it's a little bit, and you know, it adds up or whatever. So if you got to go to a certain gas station anyway, and say it's the lowest price, and then you're getting another $5 or 5 cents per gallon off with the Upside, that's great. Yeah, that's another thing that I do to offset some of the cost of gas and things like that. I've made almost $100 this year doing Upside. That's great. That's great. It's like it's pretty much free money. You're gonna go to the gas station anyway. So it's not all gas stations. It's not gonna be the best price, but if you can make a little extra money doing Upside, whatever, you know, just let it stack up. I kind of take the money once it gets to about $20-$25, just because I want to go ahead and get it and put it into play and use it. But so that would be either like paying off credit card bill, investing it, or using it to buy stuff like this. So I get the big bag. I'll show you the bag. If we get more people in here, I'll show them the bag. But this is the bag of things that we got today at the bin store. So pretty big bag of things. There's a lot of items. $1 for each item there. So that's what we got. So yeah, waiting for some people to show up. If not, we'll start looking at some of the stuff. Now there's a couple things that I'm gonna want to do, because there's something I got for my kids. I got a little something that they can play with, hopefully. And I usually don't buy stuff for us, but I did this time because these things were it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 of these things, and it was $1 for the whole box. So you know, less than what is that? It's less than 20 cents for each item. So we're gonna look at that item too and see if it's any good here today. So let's see if I'm gonna share this out real quick and see if we get some more people in here. So we'll get some more people in here. All right. But every day is a hustle. Every day is, if you don't want to work 9 to 5, you're going to be working a lot. Every day is a hustle. So that's what this is all about. We're just talking about a normal day for me and what I do on a day-to-day basis. Like I said, you know, it starts really early, and you know, you got to take care of your health. So I like to go for a walk and or a run every day if I can do it. Some days when it rains, can't do it, but whatever. But you have to keep your health up. That's going to keep your energy up. And if you have your energy up, then you can go do all these other things that we're talking about. Because if you don't have good energy, you're not going to be able to do any of those things. Okay? So let me do this. Yep. All right. But yeah, so we'll go for a walk. We go and do our eBay. pack up everything, list everything, get it going, get it out the door, get it to the post office as soon as possible so they can start processing it. And then we go to start sourcing and start doing the Doordash and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing every day. And so then I'll either go be sourcing or doing Doordash. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at some of these items here for the replay crew, because I don't want you to have to sit and wait too long. There's only a couple people in here, but this is an example of an item that I got today for $1, and this is a Livewell Courtesy Light, totally waterproof design, can mount underwater incandescent LED models available. This is the LED model, and this is for I think it's for boats, or possibly underwater. Allows fishermen to see into live well and cull fish. Okay, so yeah, so this is for boats, and it's marine thing here, but this is $1. It's $1, and I got a bunch of these. So these are something that would sell for about $10 each. But one thing you can do, since I got a bunch, like I got a lot, there's more. There's more. I'm not gonna dig in here, but one thing that you can do is you can definitely bundle these up. So I could sell 3 of these, say they go one for $10, whatever, on average. I can sell 3 for $20. I've got $3 in it, a 17. You got to have eBay fees, and then you're going to have shipping. Shipping's going to be about $6. This is 11. eBay fees are going to take about 10 to 20%. So that's, well, let's just say, actually, it's probably going to be around $3 eBay fees on that. So you're back down to 9. So you're 3 into 9 or something like that on something like this. And packaging, so maybe 3 and 8, but not great, but not terrible. And also I might be able to make a little more on that. At the 20, I'm just off the top of my head on what I looked at. That's what I'm getting from that. But that's kind of the type of stuff. This is an item. It's not a great item, but Hershey s'mores maker, whatever. So that's an item I picked up. Hi, Fisher Brown, Doordash trash or door trash now. Yeah, well, sometimes. But this is $1, and you could turn, that's like a 13, so 12, $6 shipping on this, probably $5.50, something like that. So 12 down to about 6. They're gonna take probably 2, so $1 into 4. $1 into 4 with something like that, realistically speaking. Yeah, so got the lights, got that, $1 each for all those items, right? That's another example of item here. Boswellia extract. This particular brand goes for about $17, so that's $1 down to 16, 6, 11. They're gonna take like 2, so down to 9. Let's call it 8. $1 and 8. I got a few of those. So that's how this works. You got to do this, over and over and over again. You can't just, it's not a one-hitter quitter, right? This isn't something that you just do and you're going to get rich. You got to stay up with this stuff. You just got to stay up with it, but that's how things go. But that's a couple of the items. We'll look at some more of the items as time goes on. But yeah, so that's what I do. I get those, and then what I can do is I can still finish out the day. I could Doordash and make the money there, and then when I get back in the morning, when I go to pack everything back up, I'll have a session where I'll list pretty much everything I have here. And since I have multiples, I only have to make 2 or 3 listings. You make 2 or 3 listings, and then you're off to the races. So you have maybe 10 items. Like I got a lot of these lights, so if I bundle them up, that's one listing. I may put some singles, and then I got a couple more with multiples. So you list one time, you got multiples, and you're good to go. So no, not much time for you. Okay, that's fine, Fisher Brown. That's what's up. That's all good. Thank you for being here. anyway, so yeah, that's what the eBay hustle is like. There's a lot of other stuff in here too. We might look at. I don't know what else have I got in here. I got an item in here that I'm not going to show you guys. Well, I can show you. Just an example of it. It's just like it's like these type of things. They're supplements, and I've sold hundreds of those, literally, like probably 500 of those things. And yeah, you make a few dollars each. You know, you bundle them up. And if I get hundreds of units, and what I'll do is I'll do 20. I might do 20 at a time. I might do 10 at a time, and I might do 3 or 2 at a time, and then just make multiple listings, and they just sell out however they sell. If one sells faster and it's selling through, then I'll just make the listings for. I might take some off of another listing and build that other listing up that way, so the one that's selling through fast sells through fast, and you make your money quickly that way, because you want to get your capital back so you reinvest it. And if you don't do that, you're just sitting, you know, you have to store all these items. Storage of the items is not necessarily a good thing because it takes up space and you're not making your money back. So you want to go ahead and sell it. What I do is I sell it at a profit. And it's very simple. And I don't sit on it. I'm not sitting there saying, hey, I know the value of this thing or this item, so I'm not going to sell it at, you know, I'm going to hold on to my price, and I'm not going to sell it at whatever price. If I'm selling at a profit, I usually will just do that. Now, I have offers on some of the listings, for example, like this. If I were to put this up for I got it in that call there. If I were to put this up, for example, 2 for 15, right? And somebody says, oh, I'll buy, and I have like 4 available. Somebody says that I'll buy all 4 of those for $13 each. Well, I'm only having to ship 1 package. I have $1 in each one of them. So that's 4 listings of 2. So that's, what is that? $8 I've got in the whole thing. 13 times 4 is, what is going to be 52, something like that. So $52 sale, $8 in it. I got to ship 1 item. It's going to cost maybe $8, $9 to ship at the most. I'll do that. I'm going to do that because that's super profitable. I get my capital back because I'm going to be back at this store again very soon. And, you know, going to be buying things for $1 like this. You know, I got a lot of these items. So same thing. Yeah, they go for $17.95. But if I list this for $17.95 and somebody says, I'll give you $15 for 2 of them, that's a $30 sale, $2 invested. Of course, I'm going to take that. Only have to ship once. These are a little bit heavier, but $7, $8 shipping, that's okay. That's okay. That's how you do it with eBay, in my opinion. But you can do whatever you do. There's a lot of people that don't sell this stuff unless they feel like they're getting top dollar, you know, maximum amount of their money for it. That's okay. You can do it however you want to do it. But, you know, that's just how I do it. I'm selling these things for a profit. You know what I mean? Not for just maximizing my money. Now, it's really cool to do it if you can, but it's not always going to happen, right? So that's that. That's some of the items there. And then we're going to go to, you know, like I said, we're going to go Doordash. Now, I'm in a big city now, so it'll be busy for the rest of the day, all the way until the nighttime. I can go as long as I want. Probably go till about 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then, you know, call it a night. Should be able to bring in, you know, depending on when I start, a pretty good amount. All right, so let me see where we're at here. Where we're at in the chat. Hi Tiffany, how you doing? Welcome to the house. We're talking about, you know, the hustle. So I'm going through my day, going through the Doordash stuff. My, you know, basically listing, eBay, taking the post office, and I have a big bag of stuff. I just bought. Everything in that bag's $1. We just went over some of that stuff. We got a couple more items we're gonna look at here, but yeah. So do you eBay, Tiffany? I don't know what you guys do, but if anybody's eBaying or whatever, all right. But that's what it is, and it's a grind, guys. It's not, you know, you can't get rich quick this way. You're gonna have to work harder than you do at a regular job. Regular job is probably the best. 9 to 5, you get a 9 to 5, you can, you know, go to work, you can come back home, you can make your money, and you can do your thing. You don't have to, you know, do all this. This is extra, but we have eBay, but I don't use it. Okay. Hi, driving. Hey, how you doing? Visit NY Gal. I hope you're doing well today. We're talking about eBay. We're talking about the hustle, the day-to-day thing. Why I'm driving daily? Because I am driving daily. I do drive daily, and that's what I do. And I have to drive to go find these products. I have to go drive to Doordash, and I drive for fun. But mostly, I have to go do this every day. This is the hustle. This is how we make it happen. And it doesn't seem like much, but you have a bag of stuff. It's $1 each item. And we just went over some of the numbers. I'll do it again. Let me just grab an item here. This is some kind of hair growth serum. I don't know much about it, but I don't pick up anything, by the way, unless I know that it sells. I check the sales. I check the sell through. If you're going to sell on eBay, you must buy items that sell, because if you don't buy items that actually sell and have a sell-through rate, you're probably going to be possibly sitting on that item for a long time. It's going to be sitting in storage, and that's your money just sitting in storage. It's not anything, you know, you're not getting paid interest on it, anything like that, right? It's just sitting in storage. But this item is a $17-18 item right here. Paid $1 for it. So $1, say a $17 item down to 16, $5 or less to ship this, so that's 11. eBay is going to take $2 or $3. Let's just say 3, that's down to 8, so $1 into 8. If you want to talk about packaging and things like that, then, you know, that's another $1, so we're down to 7 on that. But that's just an idea. How's everybody doing today? How you guys doing? I probably should check it out and make more money. You could. It's a good little side hustle if you're interested in getting started, and we're talking about how to do that, I guess, today. Obviously, my channel is not designated for that, but it's a big part of what I do. Big part of what I do. I was just saying, you know, today is the bin store day, so I just went to bin stores. These are like liquidators, and they sell all kinds of products that they get in bulk from different places that either were getting rid of their overstock. Sometimes they're returns, but most of the time they're not returns. That's why I can find multiple items like this. I don't know how many of these actually got. I got a lot of them though. They're buried in there. I have 4 right here. There's a 2 or 3 or 4 more of these, but these are all $1 each, and they're about a $10 item. So, you know, you bundle them up, whatever, and you can make your extra money. Or if you guys have a expertise, this is another thing. This is where it gets interesting with the thrift stores, and it becomes an adventure, and it can be more fun. And for me, it's actually more fun to go to thrift stores sometimes when I have time, when I'm not just like trying to make money, because this is great, but these products are, you know, kind of cold. I mean, it is what it is. These are LEDs for marine applications. I know they'll sell because I've checked the sell-through rates, and there's no doubt that those are going to sell, right? Because I knew that before I bought them. You know, always check the items before you buy them. Don't go. This is a mistake you make early on, and I made this mistake early on, is that when you go out to thrift stores and things like that, you think, okay, this looks valuable, this looks nice, this looks like a deal, and you pick the item up. You don't check the sell-through rate of the item, and that just means, like, if there's 5 items listed and 2 items have sold in the last month, you know, versus if there's 10 items listed and no items or 1 item has sold in the last month, and that gives you an idea how fast you're actually going to be able to possibly get your money back on these things. But the thing that I like the most about eBay is the actual adventure and the treasure hunt. I actually don't get to do it as much as I used to because I'm strapped for time. I'm always DoorDash, and I'm going to these bin stores, and I actually make a lot more profit out of these. But there's an item, guys, that I did make an insane margin on, and I'll tell you about it in just a minute. And it was from a thrift store. And this is the kind of thing that gets you hooked, by the way. But I do like the treasure hunt more than I like this in the thrift stores for antiques and things like that, because I like that stuff, first of all. So it's interesting to me. You always learn something. But if you have a specific kind of knowledge in a specific area, like maybe you know makeup very well, you'd probably kill it in one of these bin stores because there's certain brands in there. I don't know the brands. I have to pick up each item and look it up until I'm familiar with them. Once I'm familiar with them, I mean, it's kind of like programmed and I'm good to go. I can just rock it out. Every time I see that item, I know I pick it up. I don't even question it because I know the sell-through rate. It's in my head. But the thrift stores and things like that, you know, if you know, I wouldn't say furniture, but like say like lamps and things like that. Now they're hard to ship. I don't ship big items like that. Generally speaking, I would do it if I had to do it. If it was like something that I could buy for $10 and it was $500, I'd figure it out. I would go get new shipping supplies. My setup is for smaller items like these, but you might not be like that, and you might say, hey, I know these antiques, this specific plates, or the specific whatever it is that you know really well. You can capitalize on that in a way, and there's nothing wrong with that, because you're not only saving something from the thrift store that most people don't know what it is, and it's probably either going to get thrown out or it's going to get bought out of curiosity, and then it's going to sit on a shelf for a long time, and maybe end up getting thrown out anyway. But you're going to connect people with the thing that they want, or that they're looking for, and that they'll appreciate. If somebody's looking to buy something on eBay, they know that they're looking for that thing, and so that is somebody who's going to absolutely appreciate and make the most of that item, and you're going to be able to get that item to that person, and so you're doing a huge service. Now it's the same with this stuff. All of the stuff that I have here in this bag is, you know, it will get thrown away if it doesn't get sold. If it doesn't get sent out the door somewhere to somebody who's actually interested in buying it, this stuff is going bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? So you're really saving, you know, this, like these lights, believe it or not everybody's going to pick these up, because people don't, what am I going to do with that? I don't have personally anything to do with this. I don't have a boat. I don't fish. I don't have a fishing well in my boat. So I'm not using these lights. I don't have anything to do with this, but I'm in the business of connecting the person who wants that with that item. And so it's good for them. I usually try to save them some money by making it work out where they pay less. So I'll bundle them together, 2 for 50 instead of $10, 2 for 15, 3 for 20, and we're bundling it together, right? And they're going to save money because they did business with me. And so that's how I make sure that I make sales and make money, because I'm looking out. I'm also looking out for these guys because they're trying to get rid of this stuff. They get it by the pallet. They get so much stuff. There's no way they can go through each individual thing and sell it and get, you know, whatever, top dollar for it. So they're not doing that. They need to get rid of a lot of it and get rid of a lot of it fast. So that's what's going on at these bin stores. Here's another item. This is a belt. It's an automotive belt. I don't know what car this goes to, or anything, right? But it has a model number on it. You can simply look the model number up, and you know, hey, this belt, and it happens to be about an $18 belt. I'll probably sell this for about 15 or less, maybe even 13 or 14, depending on how the competition is on eBay. But I did look it up to make sure it does sell within that price range, $1, and it's a win. So that belt would get thrown out. Nobody knows what this goes to. So if you're not shopping to connect people and you see this belt, why would you buy this? Nobody's buying this. So what's going to end up happening is it's going to get thrown away. It's a waste. You could save the environment and help people get items that they need. Another side hustle, obviously, that could be, you know, considered would be this YouTube. I don't really do this as a side hustle, but it could be. It is for a lot of people, and people make money doing YouTube videos. And I know a lot of you guys are YouTubers in the chat here. Some people have channels, and so you know it's kind of cool and it's rewarding that when you can help people out on YouTube, that it helps you back out, that you get something back out of it. So but anyway, that's that. See how everybody's doing here. Let's go. I'm gonna respond to something real quick that I've got going on here, if you guys don't mind. I'm gonna be very quick. Alright, okay. Alright, cool. So yeah, there's always stuff going on, and you know, I have to keep the ball rolling. So But yeah, so that's a day for me. And of course, like I said, I'll DoorDash until like 10 o'clock tonight. So do you guys DoorDash at all, or eBay or anything like that? And also, I asked earlier in the chat, and I'm trying to get a consensus of where the gas prices are across the board. Like where you're at the last time you saw gas prices. What are those prices like? Just let me know in the chat what the gas prices are like where you're at. Yeah. So there's another thing that I'm gonna do while I'm on the camera here, and I'm gonna go and get this out. So I got this thing for $1. So this is actually a lot of things. It's some kind of like generic lightsabers, right? Toys, and they're really cheap. But I thought they'd be kind of cool as little lights for various reasons and various uses around the house for the kids, so they could play with them. Tried DoorDash, but someone else used my phone number. Yeah, that's terrible. I can't sign up. Got to get another phone. So they come with these little blades. If they're short, like for little kids, man. But I have little kids, so gas is $3.80. Oh wow, $3.85. $3.80? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. I got it at $2.75. You sure it's not $2.80? $3.85. It's never used to. I have never used DoorDash. Don't have the app. No, if it's nuts, it's actually $3.80 there, or $3.85 rather. Yeah, that's very expensive. It's over $1 more than what it is here. So this thing came with these two different colors of lightsaber, and this is like this gold color and this like silver color thing, and they're for kids. It was like $4 something last year. Yeah, it's been a little cheaper lately. Around here too, it's been a bit cheaper. So that's good. Still, I would like to be a little bit better, but $2.75 is not bad. And like I was saying, I use that upside thing, so sometimes it's a little better than that. The cheapest I've got it this year was I think $2.59 or something. I put it in my community post, I think, at the time. You'd have to go back pretty far. I would have to go back and check. But $2.59, I'm pretty sure. So I'm opening this up to put batteries in it because I want to see. It's a lightsaber, but I want to see what it does. So 2 go in there. Okay, this already got battery in it. That's not good. That doesn't look too good. Let me I don't know if these might have been returns, because I didn't see any more of these in there. So sometimes when you only see one item at the bin store, it's a return. That battery was in wrong, so I wonder if they put the batteries in wrong and then returned it. Suckers. No, I don't know. Oh wow. Okay, so it makes noise, but how good is the noise? Okay. All right. That's the noise. Sounds crazy. Sounds like a wild cartoon. I'm going. So this goes in. Does it have a light? Oh, it does. I'm gonna turn the noise off. Okay, the noise is off. It's got lights, and it's got different color lights. Look, so it's green, purple. That's cool. Blue, green, and then like a multicolor. That's like a blue and a red and green. Christmas lights there. Purple. Oh, and then this is like a lights change. This is cool. So guys, I have the reason I got these is because they were so cheap. Look, so it was a box, and you see all the ones in there. How many it is? It's like 6 of them. So it's like 6 of these little like lightsabers, which I have young, like I said, my kids or whatever, they'll play with these, and you know, blades change colors, dude, and they can. I don't care what happens to these, right? They can just do whatever they want, right? And if they break, who cares? I got like 6 of them. The sound's not so good. The sound's not good. We're not gonna do that. I'm having a sword fight with myself in here, dude. Yeah, the sound is not that good, but you know what? You can just turn the sound off. Maybe I'll just we'll turn the sound off, and they can have fun with them. So let me turn that off. Turns off, and then have the sound turn on. Anyway, this is an outside toy. You just have to go outside and play, kids. So yeah, so the kids, I thought, you know, so $1 for that whole box, 6 of these, that's what, 15-20 cents per lightsaber, if you want to call it a lightsaber. They have lightsabers that are a little bit better and they make noise, but this, you know, I thought it'd be fun, whatever. And it's like a flashlight. So it's a flashlight and it does all this cool stuff. So yeah, dude, I had to, right? I had to get that. Oh yeah, what are you guys talking about? Saw some next towns, 355, should've gotten it there. Wow, 355 is pretty good. Well, or 255, 355, that's not good. It's very cheap here compared to that. I was like, okay, maybe 280. Oh, yeah, it was 280. Yeah, see, that's a lot better. 280 is a lot better than 380. Towns are close here. Kind of silly to use Doordash here. Not too many restaurant options. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, that's, so I'm in a big city right now. Obviously, I'm in Raleigh right now. And it's pretty big. It's not a big city, but you know, Raleigh, you know Raleigh. So there's a lot of business here. Actually, and it's if you haven't been here in a while, then it's bigger than it was. You know, there's a lot going on. And so everybody's ordering DoorDash, and you know, same thing with the little small town that's also near here, and I deliver over there too because it's nice and relaxed. The driving's nice and relaxed, but everybody there is now delivering DoorDash. There's probably like between 10 and 15 restaurants in the town there, and they're all ordering DoorDash from there. So you know what, it's gotten to that point where I can pretty much work that anywhere, and I like that. It's a good little side hustle if you want a side hustle, and honestly, dude, I do it every day, and I make quite a bit. But it just depends on how you want to do it. Are you selling that or giving it to the kids? You mean the lightsabers? That they're going to the kids. So yeah, there's 6 of them. They're gonna go to the kids. They're gonna play with them. So that way, if they break one, they can just go and you know, they're kind of cheap, but they can just, you know, whack each other with them and all this, and it doesn't matter, right? It's not gonna hurt. And they have nicer lightsabers, but those are small. So my middle child is pretty small, and this will be the right size for her. It's lightweight, you know, she can do all the fun stuff, right? And it's got the different blades. The sound is terrible though. That sound font, we're not even gonna. I put that one away because I don't want to even accidentally do it. I love those. My son got one at the circus. This kind, the same kind. Yeah, they have like better lightsabers. They have like really crazy quality lightsabers nowadays. And I would kind of want to get one, but they're kind of expensive too. You know what I mean? And then I think that would be fun for them to play with, and with the like really good sound fonts. It sounds like the movies, and they got different, you know, characters that they have the sounds of, and all that stuff. I'm a sound off parent. Yeah, sometimes it's good to have the sound off on these things. That's why they put a switch on it. Probably not the same kind, but one. Yeah, you probably got one. Hopefully got a better one. But hey, you know, I'm okay with these because they were like 20 cents each. That's why I go to the bin. Not why I go to the bin store, actually. I usually don't buy things. Oh, this is something I want to see. Okay. So they have this on the end, and I'm wondering if it came with like, that would have been cool if you could make it like a double-sided. But you know what? These are so cheap. You know, like electrical tape or something, you know what I mean? Or I could even just make something to go in there. I could make like a piece of wood that just goes in there and turns, and then this would turn into a double-sided lightsaber. And you can do the same color or different. That would be fun. That's what I should do. Maybe I'll do that. Luke, I am your father. Do you make good money doing this or lose? Are you talking about DoorDashing, or are you talking about selling on eBay? I mean, I make money on both, but yeah. If you're talking, oh, eBay? Oh no, I make money on eBay. No doubt about it. I'm in the green. Like we're making money. So the numbers that I don't know if you were here. I'll give you an example. Because I don't know if you saw it. This whole bag full of stuff for $1. It's a lot of stuff. I used the same product we did earlier. Sorry if you guys are watching this or rewatching this, but I'm just trying to make a point here. I have all these lights. I have these, probably 15 of these supplements. Probably 10 of this type of supplement. I've sold both before. I know they sell. So I got $1 into this light. It's about a $10 light, and if I do 3 together, I could sell them for $20, or I could do 2 for $15, and I got a bunch of them, right? So I make pretty good money on those. After it's all said and done, hopefully I could turn 1 into 4, right? Or something along that lines. After fees, after shipping supplies, after you know, before tax. But yeah, no, it's really not that bad. And I'm like I said, if you have a bin store, yeah, if you have a bin store, you can get this stuff. Like this supplement's like a $17 supplement, $17.99 is what I saw it selling for. And you only want to pick up things that you know sell. You've got to go into the search for the item, find the item on eBay, and then go to the sold listing filter so that you can see what actually sold, and you'll see what it sold for. And if you have a lot of those, then you know this is a good item to pick up, and you can pick it up confidently knowing that eventually you're probably going to get your money back. So yeah, there's I could probably make 1 or 2 sales out of this bag, and everything else in it will be free, and everything will be profit at that point. So yes, absolutely, eBay is pretty cool. eBay saved my butt this year, actually, and it has paid rent a couple times for me. So eBay is awesome. Doordash I just use to have a continuous flow of cash coming in, but you have to work it. You have to be there. The cool thing about eBay is you have to work it too, and I do work it every day, but not very much. And things sell overnight. You know what I mean? While I'm sleeping, things are selling. All I've got to do is just pack them up and ship them out. I have kind of once you get a system, it's a little bit of work to get the system going, but once you get the system going, you just add items in and process them as you go. Gotta make that. Yeah, well, you know, I have a lot of people at home that depend on me, so I have to. And when you're forced to hustle, you know, you find ways, right? And these are ethical ways. There's nothing wrong with this. That's what I love about it. You know, it's just right there. So much there's some abundance out here, and you know, the economy is, you know, that does have its issues. There's no doubt about it. And I hear a lot of complaining about that on YouTube and stuff. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, you want it to be ethical because there's a little thing called karma, or however you want to look at it. But you pay for those things that are unethical when you get ahead that way. You end up paying one way or another. You actually do, and so it costs. Jail, yeah. Well, that's one of the ways you end up paying sometimes. So I've seen that happen quite a bit. But this is good. And so, dang, what was I even saying? What was I saying? I just like blanked out. You know, stuff like this, you've got to stay on it. It's not easy. Oh, abundance. Yeah, there's abundance out here. That's what I was saying. Everybody's like complaining about how bad the economy is, how there's no opportunities and there's no jobs. And I personally also understand the 9-to-5 job thing. I'm not very good with it. Like, I can be good with it. I'm a good employee and all that when I need to be. But I prefer not to, because things like this are out here and I would rather go after it. And you can't really go after it if you're stuck in one place all the time. And so something about me just does that better. And so there are opportunities, but you have to work for it. You have to look for it. Also, it depends on where you live and the city that you're in, and things that are near you. If you're in the mountains of Western North Carolina or Eastern Tennessee, I happen to know there are a lot of antiques there. There are antiques galore, right? You can go there and you can probably find a lot of things that other people can't find elsewhere, and you can connect people with those things, get paid for it. So even there, out in the middle of nowhere, not really, but kind of out in the middle of nowhere, you can find things. In the city here, there are a lot of they're liquidators, and so I have the ability to go and do this right here, buy these items for $1 and flip them or whatever, and it's a really, this is profitable as heck, but it's not something you want to too much rely on, because you want to have multiple stores, multiple outlets, because if that store shuts down, and it happens all the time, you know, now your income is just, it's going to dry up. I do keep a stack of products that are not listed just in case, as a backup, because once you get into this, you have to have backups. You have to have multiple places. I still go to thrift stores all the time. Items I would get at a thrift store, I don't have anything obviously, but items I would get at a thrift store is if I see like a pack of vacuum cleaner filters or things like that, you know, that's sealed and they're $1. Yeah, of course, I'll get those, or 50 cents even when it's better, you know, whatever. Sometimes you will find bundles of things, you know, little sterling silver coated, covered, whatever you call it, napkin rings, you know, just like little antique things like that. I found bags full of those, you know, and you sell those, things 6 at a time, I think it is, or 12. It's you know, it's a set, and so if you get the set together, you can sell those. And yeah, you know, they're just selling those things dirt cheap most of the time, but thrift stores have gotten a lot more expensive. You got to be careful at Goodwill has gotten expensive. They have their own eBay store, and they have their own auction site. So with Goodwill, I don't really even go there much anymore. I do look at DVDs and stuff like that there, because they're still $1. And you know, if you're looking for DVDs, but yeah, Goodwill, not so good anymore. But let's see. Yeah, I gotta make that money. And you know, even YouTube can be a side hustle. I don't make a lot on this channel, but it can make money. It's not a bad thing to, I guess, get your channel monetized. If you do that, if you're interested in doing that, like, there's nothing wrong with it, because you're gonna put a lot of time in for free to do that, unless you're just one of these like 1 in a million people who just put a video out and the first one gets 1 million views. You know, that happens, but it doesn't happen a lot. You see it because that thing's got 1 million views. That's why you see it. What you don't see are the people that have like 5 views on their videos, you know, and that's a lot. So if you're getting traction and you're over 500 subscribers and rising, you're really doing something, because you're doing more than most people. Most people don't get to that point, and I've seen that too. This channel, when I started it, there's a lot of people that had the same amount of subscribers, and that, you know, I would watch their videos or something, whatever, and then some of them, I've seen some of them that would get to 300 or 400, and it just wasn't moving, and they stopped. And then they're just no longer making videos at all anymore. And I thought they had pretty decent channels. I was watching their stuff, but they just stopped, right? Because they just didn't feel like they were getting the traction. And I kept going, of course, and you know, this channel sucks or whatever. It's the most unprofessional channel ever, but it's pretty awesome, and you should subscribe if you're here and you haven't. But that being said, there are other people that I started out with that had that same number of subscribers. I think I have, what, 1,600 something like right now, that have 3,000 or 4,000, and there's other people that have 15,000, you know, and because they stuck with it. And you know, and it can help, and it can be a blessing, I guess, if you get to that level. It can be definitely a little side hustle or whatever. At least if you have a hobby and you're doing it anyway on the camera, if you get a couple dollars back, you could just put it back into the hobby and do better, you know. Like with my next check from YouTube or whatever, it's not going to be much, but I may be able to get enough to get another phone, like a other used phone or something that's not used, but an older phone that's new, that has a better microphone than the one I was on yesterday, because the audio was terrible on that. So better camera, better microphone, and then that's good, because now we can do more stuff, right? Because that phone gets really good reception, and so we can go live on it anywhere. And like right now, this phone, I had to find a spot. I had to drive around and find a spot where I got live, and I'm in the middle of the city. It shouldn't be that way. Like Outdoor Boys, they stopped, and they were number 1. I don't know Outdoor Boys, but really, why'd they stop? Outdoor Boys. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, no, I mean, some people stopped, I mean, with like 400 or 500, with 16 million. Wow. So, I mean, if you're talking about like the money aspect of it, and a lot of people do want to make money on YouTube. I mean, it is true. So, for me, I'm doing like, $1 a day or something like that. But 16 million um, is a lot. But if they have a channel like that, that channel is still getting views, and they're gonna be like, that channel doesn't need much input to stay operational. And yeah, they'll get a pretty passive income at this point on it, probably. And you know what? YouTube can also be, if you're starting out, a lot, and you have to do a lot, and it can take a lot of your time. And it is true. I mean, if you had a channel of 16 million, they're probably putting in a lot of work, and I can see where they probably would want to take some time off of that and spend time with family. I can totally see that and understand that, honestly. Plus 16 million views, you probably you could probably chill and take some time off. And I mean, at that point, you could start businesses and stuff that make money. That you can then run those, and probably not. You don't have to do the same thing you're doing. You have options where you can move in and out of other things. Now, if you ever get, like, I thought about this. I was like, dude, what would I do if I got more money than I've ever thought about having? And I was like, dude, I'd have to invest it in something, and I would probably have to invest it in something that I would like, maybe some assets, but also like maybe a business or something. You'd end up working still, so that you get because otherwise, I've seen people blow through like $250,000 very quick, like, and you know what I mean. It's gone. So you've got to set up. If you were to be gifted something, like, a lot of times I think I haven't been given something like that because I wasn't ready for it, and I'm learning to be ready for it as time goes on. And so that's what all of this is about. I could go out and do a lot of stuff with my spare time, if you want to call it that. Instead, I'm building a channel and hanging out with you guys. But I would rather go and buy products that I'm going to sell for business that, it does help people find things at a good price, and that's why they do it. It's why it makes money. Or, go Doordash, or build this YouTube channel, or whatever. And I'd rather do that than nothing, right? Because if you do nothing, you're not really accomplishing anything, and even if you're not doing it for the money. I started YouTube just for the artwork of it. Like, I mean, I started just doing like dash cam videos and things like that, and it was fun just doing that, and putting the video up and seeing that people were like, hey, I'm glad you did that, because I wanted to see that part of North Carolina or whatever. And so I did more of those, and then I just wanted to do more stuff, so I did more stuff. And that's why, if I was gonna start this channel to like make more, like to make money, I would do it a little bit differently. It would probably be more thematic, like, one type of thing, like, and stick to it, instead of just, I do all kinds of stuff on this channel, dude. And so, the algorithm is like, dude, what are you doing? I don't even know what to do with your videos, right? Thankfully, I have people that watch almost no matter what. I guess if I put a really terrible video out, and you didn't like it, you should not watch it. So I'm not trying to put out garbage, but I do on this channel. It's my everything channel now, and it's still living. It's functional. But yeah, like the live stream, the gaming live streams and stuff. That's a cool thing to do, especially if you're going to be playing games anyway. You may as well share it, and then you can also kind of get a bit of interaction from that. And I see a lot of people doing that and being pretty successful with it. You could talk while you play games, or you could just hang out, or you could just have other people hang out and watch. But either way, it's like, why not do that? Why not kind of create something, right? We're always watching TV, movies, YouTube, Instagram. I don't really get on Instagram much, but all these things are consuming. And so it's like, it's nice to build something and do something, and put it out there. And if people like it, that's great. If not, that's okay. They don't have to deal with it. You can move on. That's how the internet is great for that. I talk about sometimes, especially on the other channel, our internet is like a big mess, right? And it's, you know, it's hurt us in some ways, but there's a other flip side of that where it has actually been pretty awesome. You can make your living on the internet doing what you want to do. Like, it is totally possible. It's not gonna happen for everybody overnight, and it's not necessarily for everybody. But yeah, dude. I mean, this eBay thing, this eBay hustle is internet, internet based. Without the eBay app or people having the eBay app and wanting to buy things, it wouldn't exist. I wouldn't be able to go and get these items and sell and flip them. And so I'm thankful for the internet. I'm thankful for all the people that watch the channel and hang out with me, right? And do, and you know, obviously put up with the fact that I do a lot of different stuff. You know, I'm probably going to try to get back to cars stuff at some point too on this channel. I've got a lot of car stuff that I could be doing, but at the end of the day, a lot of it's come down to the family thing where I'm focusing on providing right now more so, and I want to get a little bit of a I want to accomplish a couple things before I start delving into the cars, because I know from experience how expensive it can be. And I'm not a kid like I used to be when I was, yeah, well, even in my 20s, I didn't have responsibilities like I do now. So, yeah, we were taking apart cars, building cars, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I had, you know, had the shop, and we had 2 or 3 cars going, and different stuff happening all the time, and that big of a deal then. Now, for me to do that, I have to neglect my family a little bit, you know, or whatever. But what I would like to do is build some of these systems up to where I do have some time, and you know, as my daughters get older and stuff, you know, they might enjoy working on the cars and stuff like that too, some. And yeah, and enjoy the car shows and stuff like that. I mean, my oldest loves car shows, so she's already into it, right? And really loves Hot Wheels. She knows all the cars. Some people know the cars, they recognize the car, and some people are like, oh, that's a blue car. You know, my daughter is one that knows the cars. She's like, that's a Honda, you know, or that's a Nissan or whatever. She knows the cars, which is cool. Probably mostly from Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels teaches you a lot about cars as a kid, as far as the types of cars, not how they work, but you know, this is a Honda, this is a Nissan, this is a Mazda, whatever, so on and so forth. Family definitely comes first. Yeah, family comes first, man. Before all the toys and all that stuff, before all the toys and all the noise, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a blessing. Actually, it's really cool to have a family. So if you don't have a family, you should be doing a lot of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? If I didn't have family, and I wouldn't want to not have my family, but I'm saying if it had just never happened that way, I can guarantee you, because this is what I was doing, I'd be into all kinds of stuff. We'd probably be in the shop right now doing something with some cars or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't be kind of like having to hustle so much. I probably would do it, but not necessarily like as focused, as laser focused on that, unless I just wanted like a really nice car or some parts that cost a lot of money. And in that case, yeah, I'd probably go do some things to make money so I can have a nice car and all that stuff. And that's what I would have been wanting to do, you know, all the time. I still do it, but just not all the time. You know what I mean? So that's just all it is. You know, you just got to make decisions in life, and that's okay. But as I said, sometimes you hustle because you realize, okay, you know, the family can enjoy these other things too. So let them grow up a little bit, build these systems, and then yeah, we can go to the car shows, we can go to the drift events, we can go do all those things as a family too. You know what I mean? So that's the fun side of it. You know, you do get to have some fun. But anyway, so you have a live stream planned for the day, Miss NY gal? Anything crazy going on? Try to stop by if I can. I'll be out here driving daily. So, probably gonna go ahead and get into that here very soon. See if anybody has anything to say before I go. Just wanted to talk about the day and kind of give you guys an insight into what it's like on a day-to-day basis. We didn't really go and do those things, but I just showed you, you know, the bin store, and it took about an hour or so in the bin store, and then not that much money. Unbelievably good products for not that much money, and cheap lightsabers, which everybody loves. That. Not today. Got home a little bit ago. A little ago. A little one gaming. That's cool. Yeah, we'll have fun. Just chill and have fun. You know. I like that video, chasing the sun. It's funny. My wife and I have this thing because I used to do that when we were younger. When we were, you know, younger and wild or whatever. No, not that wild, but I used to. One of my favorite things to do when I have time is to get in the car and just go. And sometimes it's like around the time of sunset. That might have been a sunrise in that video, but sometimes it's around sunset or whatever, you know, and out in the country, you know, not in the city. And we'd just be driving and cruising, just looking at the barns and looking at the houses and looking at the fields and all that stuff in the sky, you know, because it always looks cool. And yeah, and I had this thing, you know, I was like, dude, let's chase the sun, and let's see, you know, how long we can do that for, because eventually it's gonna outrun you in the car. But you know, it's fun to do. It's fun to chase. Yeah, you know, yeah, it's good. We don't get to do it as much anymore because everybody's busy doing stuff. But it is good. It is good to go drive and chase the sun. You gotta do things like that. And I would do it. You know, I would do it by myself. Obviously, it's a special thing. For her too, we enjoyed it, and of course I would always talk about chasing the sun and stuff. But I would do it always. I've always liked driving. When I was 16 years old, you know, I was driving up and down between North Carolina and Florida, and I loved it. A lot of people were like, "Man, it's a long, boring drive, whatever." No, I just enjoy it. I like being by myself sometimes. I like being with other people. But you know, also, you know, like I said, being by myself is fine with me. I have a lot of thoughts and stuff that go on, but to share that with somebody is cool. It is cool to be able to share that with people, because that's part of me, in a way. Everybody gets to drive, that's true, but it's a special thing to me, and when I get to do it with somebody, that's special to me for them. So yeah, you're right. It is a little bit romantic, isn't it? But anyway, all right. Well, this video has devolved into me talking about romantic things. That's when you know I've got to get off here and just and go do something else, right? I got to go work. It's not a romantic channel, but yeah, hustle every day if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. But if you want to hustle, this is how to do it. At least with eBay. I could probably have an eBay channel. I mean, at this point, I've been doing it for so many years. No, it's okay. It's all right. I did it to myself. But I could probably have an eBay channel at this point. I don't. So I was like, man, you know what? Today I'll give a little bit of insight on how I do this stuff, and hopefully it's fun, and hopefully you guys got something out of it. Go make money and bring home some flowers, maybe. No promises on that. I can't make any promises on that, but maybe, you know what? That's a good idea. I should bring home some flowers. Thank you for the insight and the motivation. But yeah, you know, you gotta do something with your life, right? And so create something, make some videos, make some out of some craft materials or something. If you don't have real flowers, right? Do something, because not for everybody else always, but because of, you know, it's good for other people, but it's also good for you, to create. You get a lot out of when you create things, more than you think, you know, obviously. And if you're not actively doing it every day, you don't realize that. Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed to my other channel, Real Thoughts Project, where Real Thoughts Project, you should do that. It gets a little real over there, though. We don't talk about stuff like this as much. It's a whole nother ball game over there. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but try to keep it respectful. And yeah, so hopefully we'll see you there. Let's see, read the chat here. Let's see. Yeah, I know, and it's not about the money. If I can find some wildflowers, I'd love to do it. It's not about like not buying flowers. It's just, oh man, now I've got to get the flowers, you know, because that would just be bad not to. Messing me up here. But anyway, yeah, had fun. Hopefully you guys did. Hopefully you got something out of it. A little bit of motivation, maybe a little bit of insight into what it's like. It's not easy not to have a 9 to 5. You got to get up every morning. You got to make yourself go. And if you don't, I mean, nobody else is going to tell you to go unless you have a wife. She's going to probably tell you, hey, we need some money for groceries, and you will go. So there's that. But if you're out there and you're, you know, thinking about starting a YouTube channel, thinking about starting an eBay store, thinking about Doordashing, you know, Doordash is not the greatest, but it's a good stepping stone. Could get you a few dollars. Take it right straight over to the bin store or the thrift store, buy a few items, post them on eBay, and I call it the money multiplier. So with that, I'm gonna end it here. I'm glad you guys stopped in. I do appreciate you hanging out with me. Not only is it fun, it does help the channel. It does, and yeah, I appreciate it, and I love seeing what you guys have to create as well. And with that, I'm gonna call it a day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out.